Welcome back to Chop to the Top, the series where I'm trading my way up from a cheap car to a supercar. Last time you saw me turn around the 7th car in the series, this 2010 Land Rover Discovery. I took the Discovery in exchange for the previous vehicle I'd been working on, a 2009 Toyota Hilux, so that meant the Land Rover owed me £6,900 straight away. I spent a further £165 getting it ready for sale, meaning that in the end the Discovery owed me a grand total of £7,065. I'm pleased to say that the Discovery sold relatively quickly and it sold for full money, £8,995, showing me a net profit of £1,930, which is very healthy. Of course, this is chopped to the top, so the budget moving forward was the top line sale figure, in this case £8,995. So, what did I buy in order to keep things moving? Well, stay with me and you'll join me during the online remote bidding of my local car auction, where I'm having a go at what I hope will be the next car in the series. It's a bit of a bidding rally, so I'll speed the footage up, but you'll still get the gist.
Lot 62, full focus ST2 turbo, 2014 and a 6.4 brake drive. We're doing just drive by this car. The hammer is up at 6,550. I'm out.
So here it is, a remarkably clean 2014 Ford Focus ST. Let's take a moment to check in with the numbers so far. I started this episode with a total budget of £8,995 to buy and work on a car. Including all buying fees, the Focus cost me £6,916, meaning that I have £2,079 left in the kitty in order to get this one turned around and out the door. Okay guys, here it is, car number 8 in my Chop to the Top series. And I'm so happy to say we're finally getting to that sort of level of car that, you know, it's a bit newer and the mileage is acceptably low and it's just things are moving in the right direction, so I feel really positive about this one. So, in case you're not already aware, this is a 2014 Ford Focus ST. It's more specifically an ST2. It's a really cracking spec car. I'll show you the interior just quickly, but we will come back to it in a minute. This has got the Recaro interior, which is absolutely immaculate. It's gorgeous. So the car itself is very straight. There really isn't that much wrong with it. There's a few little bits I've got to do, but to give you an overview of how it's come into me, it's completely standard throughout. I think these run about 250 horsepower out of the box, so it's what I would class as a performance car. It is a hoot to drive. I had a Mark II ST a few years ago, you may remember. I wasn't all that impressed with it. This is the Mark III, and I've got to tell you, driving it back from the auction house, I just had a blast. It is a fantastic motor. I really like this one. So let's give you some details. It's finished in moon dust silver. The paint is absolutely beautiful. There isn't really any damage, but there is a really small area that I need to address. It's a poor repair that's been done in the past. I apologise that this car is soaking wet. We're in England and of course it's raining. So you might just be able to see, if I clear some of the water away, there's been a little repair there in the past. Now, it's not been done very well, so I will deal with that properly and it will be invisible. That is really the only bit of bodywork I've got to do on this car. Because it's wet, you can't really tell, but it does need a good polish. So I'll give it a machine polish and make it all look new again. So this car's now 8 years old. It's to be expected. I would imagine, like most cars, it hasn't really been detailed. It's had sort of a contact wash with a gritty sponge most of its life, but I can deal with all of that. As I say, you can't really make it out because the paint is wet here, but it's not terrible or anything. It's just not as good as it can be and as good as it will be. So that is something I will be dealing with. I mentioned that interior, I'll show you that again, more specifically the driver's bolster. Now on these big bolstered Recaro seats, normally you get some bolster wear, but as you can see here, they are just gorgeous. All of the seats are in such lovely condition. I really can't fault any of it. So I'm really happy with this one. The car itself has only done just over 58,000 miles, which for an 8-year-old car I think is pretty impressive. The reason it's such a low mileage car, this has come from the Isle of Wight. Now if you're not familiar with the Isle of Wight, it's a very small island off the south coast of the UK. Being such a small island, cars that live there generally don't have high mileage because they don't drive very far. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, this is going to be a little bit of a quicker turnaround than sometimes you used to see me work with, because normally I have so much work to do to these cars to get them ready for sale, or at least to the standard that I like cars to be before I sell them. So this car does have full service history and it has only done 58,000 miles, but to add value, I'm going to get another service done, but more specifically, I'm going to send it out to a local performance car workshop to be done. The reason being, it's got stamps in the book. I'd just like this stamp to be from a performance specialist, so that'll cost me a few £100 to get done, but it's definitely going to be worth it. Also, when I come to sell it, I like to be able to say it's just had a service and I know exactly where we are with the car. Normally, I'd also do a timing belt for the car, but this is a chain-driven engine, so it doesn't need a belt at all. The chain doesn't rattle, of course, it's such a low mileage car, you wouldn't expect that, but fortunately there's something that I don't have to do for the car, but it will be a full service throughout. I'll also put a fresh MOT on it, which if you're not from the UK, an MOT is our yearly roadworthiness test. This one has just expired. I've got no doubts at all it will fly through the next one, but of course I will put a fresh one on there for the new owner. So really, apart from those little bits I've showed you on the bodywork and a really good clean and those service bits, there's not really a lot to do on this one. So I am very happy with it. I'm really looking forward to seeing this one finished and more importantly, looking forward to finding it a new home. So I'll show you under the bonnet as well, because what I really like about this is it's a completely standard, unmessed about with car. Nothing wrong with modifying cars, of course, you've seen me do it, and I am a fan of properly done modified cars, but on a stock car like this, I like to see things standard, and you know, for a Focus ST, often they are modified, so having a standard one really does help. You can see this has been parked under some trees in its life. All of that will get sorted when I give the thing a thorough clean and detail, but just look at that, how straight and how clean everything is. What a beautiful car. Now that the small amount of bodywork has been completed and the Focus has had its initial clean, I'll bring it back into the workshop to decontaminate the paint ahead of machine polishing. I won't include the footage of the polishing stage because I know you've seen me do it loads of times before. As soon as the cleanup was done, I sent the Focus out to the performance specialist who carried out a full service and also did an MOT test. This wasn't the cheapest, but it does mean that the car is now absolutely tip-top and ready to go to a new home. The Focus is finished and ready to be sold. You've probably got the impression that I'm quite fond of this fast Ford, and you'd be right. This is, in my opinion, one of the cleanest examples of its kind available right now. Naturally, I'll be sorry to see it go, as I always am with any vehicle I deal with, but I'm confident that this one will sell well and enable me to keep moving onward and upward with the series, and that is what is important. So let's talk about the numbers. As you know, I started this episode with £8,995 to buy and turn around a car. With auction buying fees, I spent a total of £6,916 to buy this Focus. It didn't need much doing to make it beautiful again, so I spent just £30 on paint and body materials and £15 on cleaning consumables. The big ticket item was the service and the MOT by the performance specialist, which came in at a fairly hefty £536, but that was an all-encompassing service including a tyre, plus it will give the new owner peace of mind, so I can't be too stressed about it. Another expense is something I did off camera. When this Focus came into me, it only had one key, so I had a second key made up and programmed to the car, which again is all good news for the new owner. This cost me £230. That means, in total, this outstanding example of a Focus ST stands me in at £7,727. I have now advertised the Focus for sale. However, being so close to Christmas, it's not an ideal time to put it on the market, so I'm not sure if this one will leave me until the new year. I guess we'll have to wait and see. If you've enjoyed watching this episode and would like to see more like it, be sure to check out my other videos. So that you don't miss out on the next episode in the series, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you have your notifications turned on. Thanks for watching. Until next time, cheers.